Hey, this is Amanda from The Fundamental Home, and it's Wednesday, and that means it's Worthy Wednesday. I have Teddy on my lap in case his little head pops up. I figured I'd warn you. Today, of course, on Wednesday we talk about how we're worthy of our best efforts. And these last few weeks we've been talking a lot about relationships, like friendship relationships and things like that. And because I've gotten a lot of questions about that. Well, in the past week, things have been a little crazy on my channel, and I've had a lot of thoughts about how people connect with one another. And I thought we'd talk about that a little bit today for Worthy Wednesday. So things have been a little hectic and crazy on the channel, and I've been thinking a lot about how we are worthy of authenticity in our relationships. Because I think one thing that happens when you watch people on YouTube, and I try to stress it, and it's not just on YouTube, of course, it's on television or any other place that you see people but you're not really connecting with them physically, is that you start to get an idea of what you think that person is. And so whenever that person inevitably, because it's going to happen eventually, does something that doesn't quite fit with your perception of them, you get disappointed. And actually I think it also happens in physical relationships as well, like with other people that you meet and know in real life. I actually was reading this book called The Respect Dare. I don't know if any of you have ever read it, and it was it was kind of like the Love Dare with Fireproof, but it was the Respect Dare, and it was for wives, encouraging them to be respecting of their husbands. That's what it was about. And one of the days, I think it was the one that I thought struck me the most, was about letting go of your expectations. That a lot of times within marriage, you have these expectations for your spouse, but they're not based on who your spouse actually is. It's based on who you want them to be. And a lot of times we get disappointed within our marriage because the spouse, we've set these expectations that they're never going to reach because that's not who they are. You know, and if you're going to be happy within your marriage, you have to love the person that you're with for who they are, regardless of whether or not they meet these, you know, these goals that you have for them. An example was a husband who, or excuse me, a wife that really wanted their husband to be like affectionate all the time, but they were married to a man that just wasn't, you know, really the huggy kind. And so, but she'd married him, she'd been with him a long time, it's just over time that became more of a problem. And you know, of course, if you're married, you can communicate and say, you know, this, I really need this from you, and you can work on that. But he was never going to reach the level that she was actually looking for. So she had to kind of dial back her expectations to find peace and joy within her marriage. And I think the same thing works. This is where it hits YouTube, right? The same thing works when you deal with people on the internet. I think that, like I said, it's really easy to have these expectations that the people that you see are something different than just normal people. And I've really tried to be honest with you all and say, hey, you know, we're going to talk about different things, and I love the Lord, I'm a Christian, I'm a homeschool mom, I'm this, I'm that, but I'm not perfect by any means. I say it all the time. And if you watch my channel long enough and you like the content, that's great. But there's going to be a time when I say something that you don't like. And that's okay, because in real life, I'm sure you all have friends, and when you have friends in real life, you don't agree on everything. You know, I have loads of friends. You know, one of the things people always talk about is me wearing skirts. Not one of my friends wears skirts. I'm the only one, and I don't care, and they don't care that I wear them. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just clothes, right? So, I mean, all of this little stuff, it's just like, it's not a big deal. Really, it's not. We don't have to agree on everything. I think what's important is that you have authenticity in your relationships. That you can be who you actually are, and they can be who they are, and you can still be friends. Like, you don't have to pretend to be something for someone else. And they don't have to be something special or different or whatever for you. Because you just love them and accept them for who they are. I think authenticity in relationships is important because a lot of times people come to me feeling sad, feeling lonely, feeling distant, and the reason why is because all of their relationships are shallow. they're only on the surface because they're afraid to be who they are. You know, they're afraid to be honest about things that they like, things that they don't like, because they don't want to offend people and they don't want to hurt everybody's feelings. And I don't know what it is with our culture today that it's all about worrying about offending people or even intentionally offending people. I'm not about intentionally offending people by any means, but I'm also not about hiding things. I mean, we've got to be open and we've got to be honest if we're going to come up with solutions and make connections and cross bridges. You know what I mean? So here's the deal. I actually thought I should make a video called I should have made this video first. Because I want everyone out there to know that my relationship with you across YouTube is going to be just the same as my relationship with you would be if I met you across a table. You know, you might meet me and think, nah, we're not really going to be friends, and then you wouldn't subscribe. Or you might meet me and think, wow, we have so much in common, we should be friends, and then you'll hit the subscribe button. And Tady's trying to jump on me again. You might meet me, think we're going to be great friends, and then after a little while kind of get to know me a little bit and think, I mean, I still like her, but we're not going to be like best friends or anything. And then, I mean, that's kind of the equivalent of you'll be subscribed, but you won't watch every video. Totally normal. Or you might watch the channel and after a while find that, you know what, we're really not compatible, and then you unsubscribe. And that's normal too. Totally normal. That's how relationships work in real life. And that's how they were going to work on YouTube. Because that's how it is. The difference is that in real life, if you met someone and you found that they really weren't your cup of tea, you'd probably just, you know, not hang out with them. But on YouTube, for some reason, people feel the need to make an announcement and like put a comment down there and be like, you have disappointed me. You are not everything I expected you to be. And so therefore you must know that you are a disappointment and I am leaving your channel. Angry face. and I'm sorry to laugh at it. I know that people are trying to communicate with me. I don't know what it is they see. I guess they see YouTube as just a business. To me, it's not. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't get paid ad money. It's not breaking the bank. I haven't increased my grocery budget yet, folks. So there's that. But I don't do this for that. It was never about that. Never about that. I'm just out here trying to be me. You be you. Put your comments on. I'm going to respond to them. But I just want to kind of put it out there what the expectations are for relationships, both in real life and online. That I expect authenticity. I don't mind if we disagree. We don't have to agree about everything. I will, on my channel, make sure that it's respectful. Just like if you came to my home, I wouldn't let anybody come to my home and be disrespectful to me in my home. I'd tell them to leave. And I got no problem doing that. That's that. So it's kind of the same thing. But I've had many people come to my house that don't agree with things. We've talked and had, you know, kind of these debates back and forth, and it was fun. Like, we enjoyed hanging out with one another and talking about different things that we think, and it's no problem at all. But I just want to put it out there about the realness, because I have gotten some comments like, I can't believe a godly Christian woman would say this. And I'm like, you know, if you had, you know, a pastor's wife, someone that you think is a godly Christian woman, and they said something you didn't necessarily agree with, you probably wouldn't go to that person and say to them, I can't believe a godly Christian woman would do that. I mean, maybe you would. Some people might. But generally speaking, I don't think that's something that people say. So I don't know what it is about YouTube that people feel free to just speak to people and write things to people that they wouldn't say to them in real life. I really want to just draw people's attention to the fact that this is my real life. And so when you talk to me, you really have to talk to me and other YouTubers, frankly, as though you're talking to a real person. Because this is our lives, and we're sharing it with you. And we're trying to be loving and gracious by doing so. And I know that if you are looking for a good, you know, good friend relationships, that you want to feel like you can be honest with someone without them jumping on you. And I want to feel like I can be honest with you without you jumping on me. Now, I get this is open to the public and not everyone's going to be my friend. I do get that. I understand. Like I said, I don't mind dealing with the comments. I really don't. But at the same time, this is my attempt at making people aware of how I see it. You know, how I see what we're building here. I see myself as building like thousands of friendships because I love people. And this has been way more fun than I ever thought it would be. But I don't know that everybody realizes how much it is a part of my life and how much it's a part of other YouTubers' lives. And I think that if you're having trouble building relationships in real life, a lot of times you come online to build relationships, and the same troubles that you're having in real life, you have online. And so maybe an issue with some people is that they can't have authentic relationships because they're just so quick to cut people off because they don't agree with everything that they say. And you don't have to cut everybody off. You really don't. I mean, some people you do because they're belligerent or they're doing something absolutely unacceptable. But you really have to kind of choose those things carefully. Not everyone is going to be that extreme. In fact, most people aren't. Most people are just going to be different. I always say in my comments, excuse me, that my husband and I don't even agree on everything. We really don't. We really don't. We often don't agree on things. But I'm married to the man and I love him. And that's fine. He and I debate all of the time. And that's fine. So, anyway, if you come here to this channel, you're going to find me telling you how I actually feel about things and not being fake or phony, giving you my true opinion. And if you ask me a question in the comments, I'm going to try to be genuine there. And if you want to say your opinion, I might come back and say something about it. Think of me saying it with a smile, because sometimes it's hard to convey tone. And I don't mind a debate, you know, but we're just keeping it friendly debate, no problem. So just think of it that way. Think of me saying whatever with a smile. And that's cool. We'll build some relationships online, and then hopefully that'll help us build authentic relationships in real life. So anyway, you are worthy of honest relationships, even if they are most good relationships are imperfect. I can't even say most. All good relationships are imperfect. So don't expect that perfection. And you'll have good relationships. And just love people how they are. So anyway, you guys have a good Wednesday. Tomorrow I have a great video about me cutting Ricky's hair. I can't wait for you to see that, because I actually filmed me cutting his hair and show you how to do an at-home haircut. So that'll be tomorrow. And then Friday, of course, is our manly meal. And got a special fellow coming on that one. That would be my husband. And I'm going to tell you the truth. We have not filmed it yet. It's Wednesday. It is actually, I'm actually filming on Wednesday today. Not all of my videos are filmed on the day that I put them out. But I'm actually filming on this Wednesday. And we still have not filmed the Frugal Family Food meal for this week. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Rick keeps going back and forth on what he's going to make. So we'll see. Nuggets jumping up on my lap. We'll see what happens with that. Anyway, so you guys have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.